My name is Sanjay Sehgal. So professionally, I am President and CEO of MSys Technologies, but as I call myself, a heartful human being. Over the years, I have come to understand that there are two categories of people. One category, they are looking for something like meditation, or they have some kind of thirst, and that leads them to meditation. In my case, actually, I started when I was fairly young. I was 23 years old, and I was really not looking for meditation or something like meditation. I just ran into it. But once I started, then I realized, oh, this is what was missing in my life. So sometimes, you're looking for water. Other times, you find water and say, oh yeah, this is what I needed. I was just recalling, recently we lost a business deal with a client. Now, had it happened a few years ago, surely I would have fired a few people in my company. Now, when this time it happened, my reaction was completely different. Rather, I was more responsive to that than reactive. And I took that opportunity to educate the people who were involved in that deal. And in the process, they could figure out what they didn't do, their blind spot in a way, that made us lose the deal. Now, what I realized, I came out winner in this, even though I lost the deal, but I came out winner because I got a team now, which is not only experienced, but also wiser. Now, within 2 weeks, they got me a deal, which is twice the size of the previous one, which we had lost. So, I know it works, but that's not the reason why I did it. I did it because I had become a person who couldn't have done what I would have done, let's say, a few years ago. And another very common thing that I find that often people at, you can say, if I may say my age or my level of experience and all, end up spending their time in is, all the mistakes or all the things that we didn't do. The bucket list. People often come up with this regrets and spend more time in mistakes they have done and things like that. At this stage, I feel everything that I've done was a thing I was supposed to do, given my level of understanding at that particular moment. So there's no regret. I couldn't have done anything different. And now the way I do things is the way I should be doing it now. But of course, every morning gives me a new chance to do things in a new way. So that's kind of a process of, evolution that goes on. And that is something I don't think I would have ever gotten to without something like meditation in my life. Because no amount of book reading, no amount of mentoring, no amount of business experience can give you this. Once I had read actually from one of my mentors that, of course, it was in a different context, not in the context of management, but I overlaid that into management. And there are 4 types of management techniques, and they all come from the way things happen in nature. How a child is born, in case of human, a mother has to carry the child in the womb for 9 months. Now we all know how a hen hatches its eggs by sitting on it for 40 days. And they say that fish lays its eggs, keeps an eye contact by circling around its eggs in water. And then there's an example of turtle. Lays eggs, leaves, keeps a mental contact, goes away as far as possible. Till the egg is ready to be hatched, comes back. For me personally, the management technique has been combination of all 4 rather than one of these. Now, of course, here again, then and now, earlier I would have felt that I had to be there to do things. But now for me, many times I feel it's better I'm not there. As long as I have the mental contact, I'm able to make things happen. I'm able to let others do things and find joy in their accomplishments. That is something, some people may say it's a lazy management technique. For me, it's the most effective one. And of course, as I said, all four, sometimes you circle around, but it's not like a helicopter parent that you're circling around them, but it is more like an eye contact, right? And as I said, the most effective is where you have the mental connection with the problem and let others solve the problem and find joy in their accomplishment. Success mantra. To me, the success mantra is there is no mantra. Live life as it comes. But if you are able to be connected to your heart, as they say, heart will tell you when things are not right. And that is the mantra, really, if there is one. And be in tune with your heart. Don't pay attention to your emotions. Don't pay attention to anything else. Because heart is the most effective guiding light or guiding principle in your life. And if you can tune yourself to it, I think the life becomes natural, heartful, and of course, as they say, the happy. I think to me these things also evolve as you grow. There was a time for me the role model was the guy sitting in the next cubicle. I wanted to be my supervisor, my boss in the office. Right? I wanted to be like him when I grow up. I used to think like that. Then later on it became the person who actually introduced me to meditation. Then you realize, I think as you grow, keep growing, that there's a different need for different times, right? And or in other words, you can say you outgrow the previous role model and you find a new one, or you need a new one. Then comes a stage in your life when there is no role model. You need one, because if your goal is that infinite something that you have never seen, who would the role model be? Finding a role model, looking for a role model will limit that, no? Isn't it? Do we need one? I don't know. Maybe I'll tell you next time.